loser of this one. And boy, do we have a doozy of a game lined up for you tonight with Upperman and Sequatchie County. These are two elite teams. Let's talk for a second about what you're going to see from Sequatchie County. You're going to see Callie Green on the hill for the Indians, and she has taken the load. I believe she's at like 96, 97% of the pitches thrown this year by Sequatchie County have been out of the hand of Callie Green. And you're also going to see Ella Edgman out there on the base path. You're going to see her lighten it up out there. But surprisingly, I believe at 2019 at the state tournament, she tied the record, by the way. And I bring this up because I was the one who found it out. I'm not going to brag on myself, but I did a pretty good job. She tied the record for most stolen bases in a game. She had 4. And this year, at that point, she was a perfect 56 for 56, I believe, that year of stuff for stolen bases. She's 40 for 42 this year. Her sister, Addie, is a perfect 31 for 31. So a little bit of rivalry there in the two sisters. One the senior, one the junior. We got 3 seniors on this team. We've got Edgman, Callie Green, and Jessica Dennis, the catcher, who has really been the anchor for this pitching staff for Sequatchie County, been able to just throw people out on second. Really, really high caught stealing percentage for her, for a catcher, that is. And she's done a fantastic job this season. Much of home runs this season, Sequatchie County, almost too many to count. I believe we're up to 56 on the season. I may have missed one or two. I was late. We got 3 seniors on this team. On Monday versus Edgman. I know I saw 2 home runs Green that game, and we were up Jessica to 54 Dennis, the catcher, who has really been the anchor. And just a lot of home runs for Sequatchie County. A lot of triples this season. Just throw people out. I think we've got 2 or 3 players on this team that have a slugging percentage, which is basically means she's done all the bases combined per at bat. So like you take in how many bases are almost the average number of bases are they getting per at bat when they're hitting on the season. I may have missed one or 2. I know we got 3 seniors on this team. I know I saw 2 home runs. There are 2 or 3 players on this team with a slugging percentage over just a lot of home runs. I want you to think about that. They're averaging when they hit the ball. I think we've got 2 players, 2 or 3 players on this team that have a slugging percentage, which is every time they hit the ball, they're averaging more than first base every time they get a hit. Every time they get a hit out there. And that is just amazing. And one of those stats you may not find, just looking around and, just kind of wandering around looking for stats. That's one of those like deep dive stats you have to really look for. But this is a great team this year. I think, I hadn't get to watch them a lot. When I was watching that Macon County game, I saw something that really makes a great team. I know I bring this up every time a team goes to the state tournament, but really it's the reason the team does go to the state tournament, and that's the fact that they just hit the ball where they want to. When they are on top of it and they can hit the ball in what direction they want to, they are hitting gaps that a lot of other teams can't hit. They're hitting gaps not just between like second and third, shortstop and third. They're hitting right over the shortstop and right in front of the left fielder or right in front of the center fielder, or they're hitting one right down the line, down the first base line, and the right fielder's having to chase it, and they're stretching what should have been maybe a double if they played their cards right into a triple, maybe even halfway to home, waiting to see if that ball's going to hit or miss, So they have done a phenomenal job of just stretching out singles into doubles, doubles into triples, into maybe, inside the park home run or something. I hadn't seen that yet, but I wouldn't put it past them. They've just been run-ruling teams and rolling over teams that are not in the AAA division, and what I mean by that is they're in the AA division. And so they have a lot of runs. By the time we go to state, I will have the run differential. I didn't have a lot of time to prepare for this game, but I will have the run differential overall, so you can see just how badly they have beaten opponents that are not in AAA, like not in the classification they're in and below. Like how badly they've beaten opponents and opponents that they should beat. Just astronomical what they've been able to do and what Coach Kelly Somerville has really been able to do with this team. And, yeah, I think this is going to be a really great game. I don't really know what to expect from Upperman. I know they're going to put a lot of runs on the board too. I wonder how they're going to react to the pitching that Green brings out, and can Green stay consistent late in the game? And I think she can, but really against this Upperman team, when things start to fall apart, if she doesn't have the runs to back her up, if she doesn't have a sizable lead, sometimes late in those games she gives up some late runs, I've noticed. But she does a good job of containing that. It's not like she's given up 5 runs in an inning or something. Most of the time it's usually just 1, maybe 2 that she's given up, like really, really late in the game when maybe maybe she's like, I'm up by 17 or whatever. But I'm really anxious to see what she does. And I'm really anxious to see how these Upperman Bees can hit off her and see where they're hitting the ball to. Are they hitting a bunch of ground balls? Are they hitting a bunch of pop-ups? That means they're not really getting great contact on the ball. Because once you get contact on the ball, your next at bat, you usually get a hit or can hit it where you want it to if you know what you're doing and you're a really great player. So I wonder how that's going to go. I wonder how that's going to affect this game. And I think it's going to be the key to the game. And I know it sounds cliche, but can they hit the pitcher? I know that sounds like, oh, that's so simple, Chandler. What are you talking about? But can they hit the pitcher? Can they make contact in the first 2 innings or so? And I think we're going to see this Macon County team is kind of on that same level as the Upperman team. Close games, whatever. But I think Upperman is a better team than that Macon County team. They did beat Bledsoe County 11-0. That's something that Sequatchie County would do, I think this one is going to come down to the fact of, I'm not going to say who scores more runs because that just sounds like completely bonkers to say that. But I think this game is really, really, really going to come down to who can score the most runs early. Because I think late, those pitchers are going to figure out how to pitch around. Who can score the most runs early? Because I know with Sequatchie County, if they get up early, it's really, really hard to catch them because they have great hitters. They have not only a solid pitcher and a great pitcher in Callie Green, but they have an infield and outfield to boot that has been really, really great and made, very, very few mistakes this season from what I've seen from them. So I think this is going to be a great game. I think this is shaping up to be a good region championship game, and I'll say that, and this will end up being a blowout, and Sequatchie County will run rule. I don't know, but that's kind of where I see this. I think this is going to be a little closer than maybe they want it to be. But I do think this district 8 AA that we're having to go up against, I believe they are tougher than what you'll see in the sectional. So this may be the toughest game Sequatchie County has until they get to state, and that says a lot about how good District 8 AA has always been, and maybe how the East, out Region 3A, out toward Chattanooga and Athens and almost up toward Knoxville, tells you how much the softball has gone down. And because you have Meigs County and Red Bank in that other regional, and as we get updates on that game, I will let you know as well throughout this ball game. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how everything shapes up here on SpearNation Radio. We're going to bring you right to the action here at Upperman High School as the Sequatchie County Indians are taking on the Upperman Bees in this Region 4 AA matchup. Sorry, we got an early start, and I wasn't nearly as prepared as I thought I was to get ready for this game. Right now, coming out into the bottom of the first, the Indians take a 4-0 lead to start things off here. We just ended with a double play by the Bees. In the circle for the Indians to start this game is going to be Callie Green. No surprise there, as she has been dominant and been in the circle all season, taking about 96% of the pitches for the Lady Indians. Sitting here in between innings, getting ready to go. Stars still getting set here. Indians, black on black for the uniforms, purple outline for the numbers and the lettering. Wearing the purple visors, white socks, black, I'll say this, the white belt on the field for the Indians here at Upperman High School in Baxter, Tennessee. Region 4 AA Championship. Reagan Hurst up to bat for the Upperman Bees to lead them off.